In nature, it is quite common to encounter such a phenomenon when a seemingly safe animal can pose a mortal danger, and vice versa. Outwardly terrible representatives of the fauna, with huge fangs, spikes, stingers and claws, can have a truly formidable appearance, but in reality be practically harmless and kind beings, and all this formidable appearance is needed only to mislead potential enemies. They say, "Look how formidable and scary I am, and it's better not to mess with me." In the animal world, such a scheme works well, and not without reason. Some harmless species of spiders, snakes, and other reptiles have learned to outwardly disguise themselves as their poisonous relatives, and even experienced biologists at first glance sometimes cannot distinguish them, let alone animals from which this disguise saves. In general, today we will look at various representatives of the animal world that have a formidable appearance, but do not pose a danger as such, at least for humans. The telephone is tailed. At first glance, this creature looks like a hybrid between a spider and a scorpion. In fact, it is a tailed spider, arachnid, similar to real scorpions. Another name for this detachment is the flagellates. Indeed, at the end of the abdomen, the telephone carries a thin tail, almost like a scorpion, but without a poisonous needle at the end. Together with thick claws, this tail process gives an animal harmless to humans a rather menacing appearance. Perhaps that is why the naturalists of the 18th century, when they first became acquainted with this arachnid, gave it such a name. The Greek word telephonos means killer. No matter how intimidating these creatures may seem to you, and they do look creepy, in fact, they rarely reach 7 centimeters in length. In addition, they do not have venom glands. However, they can still squirt a combination of acetic and formic acid if they feel threatened. However, this is nothing compared to the bite of a scorpion or a poisonous spider. In total, there are about 70 types of telephones. Representatives of this family live in many parts of the world, in Central America, Southeast Asia, Brazil, and Mexico. European yellowtail scorpion. This awesome arachnid was depicted on tombs in ancient Egypt. If we are talking about scorpions, then it is worth noting that only 25 of the 1750 known species of scorpions have poison that can kill a person. The body length of the European yellowtail scorpion is approximately 4.5 centimeters. It is the least dangerous scorpion for humans. Despite its intimidating appearance, the sting of this scorpion is most reminiscent of a bee sting. Scorpions live in forests, deserts, on the shores of the seas, even high in the mountains up to 6 kilometers above sea level. The homeland of these creepy creatures is the warm regions of the tropics and subtropics. To the north, to the south of Europe, the Crimea, the Caucasus, the Volga region, Kazakhstan, the south of Mongolia, Central Korea, and the south of the USA, only 15 species of scorpions penetrate. Although most species of scorpions are not poisonous, it is unlikely that someone would dare to check this on themselves, and it is better to bypass these creatures' side. Giant African centipede. The giant African centipede is one of the largest centipedes in the world. This inhabitant of the tropical forests looks intimidating. Seeing him in the wild, it is difficult to come to terms with the idea that this is not a poisonous representative of the fauna. But, despite its specific appearance, the arthropod is harmless. However, for people suffering from millipodophobia, this is the name of the fear of centipedes. Even the fact that the centipede is not dangerous will not help overcome fear by watching its appearance. This tropical 256-legged centipede feeds exclusively on decaying vegetation and organic materials. In some countries, people keep them as pets. Giant centipedes are not at all aggressive. They are great for keeping at home and even get used to the hands of the owner. But these centipedes still have one drawback: they are very shy. When frightened, the centipede releases a caustic protective fluid that irritates the skin and mucous membranes. Most often, young centipedes that have just molted, whose skin has not yet hardened, sin with this. There are spots on the skin that cannot be removed for several days. Striped catfish. Another terrifying creature that lives deep in the ocean. Catfish is a type of fish that is not as popular in restaurants and home cooking as salmon, trout, or salmon, but has found its connoisseurs due to its taste and dietary characteristics. 100 g of the product contains only 100 calories. Due to their intimidating appearance, many consider these fish to be an aggressive predator. But in reality this is far from the case. The second name of the catfish is the sea wolf. There are instances that reach simply incredible sizes, 2.5 m in length, and can weigh 50 kilograms. When they see such a monster, divers emerge in horror. The sight is truly frightening, more terrible than any shark. But in fact, this fish is not at all aggressive and does not pose a danger to humans. The striped catfish is a bottom-feeding fish. People should not be afraid of its powerful jaws, as this fish uses its powerful fangs only to chew on small invertebrates and crustaceans. Vulture. Vultures, with a wingspan of 3 meters, are famous for the most infamous among all birds. They are huge in size and look very ferocious. However, they are scavengers, which means that they only feed on animals that are already dead. Vultures are absolutely harmless to humans, at least while he's alive. You can often hear how a cruel and greedy person is called a vulture. In fact, the temperament of these birds is harmless. The name of the birds comes from the ancient Slavic word bitch, as carrion was called in the old days. Indeed, dead animals form the basis of the food of vultures, but they are rarely seen near the corpses of large animals. With their weak beaks, vultures are not able to break the thick skin of ungulates. The help of larger relatives does not promise them a dinner. If after a meal of large vultures some pieces remain for the vultures, then only the most insignificant ones. Therefore, both species of these birds specialize in eating the corpses of small animals. In a word, everything that is unable to interest the mighty vultures. Gangetic gharial. The fish-eating gharial is a giant reptile that is on the brink of extinction. These animals live in some regions of India and Nepal. Therefore, if you were planning a vacation, say, to India, we advise you to be prepared for unexpected meetings. Gharials choose calm areas of muddy deep waters with a fast current. These are the rivers Indus, Brahmaputra, Ganges, and others. The gharial's teeth look impressive, but in fact its thin and fragile jaws are not adapted to chewing something large, such as a person, but serve as a tool for catching and holding small fish. The Gangetic gharial is a species of large reptiles from the order of crocodiles. Several species existed millions of years ago, but today the Gangetic gharial is the only living representative of the ancient genus of gharials. Gharial is one of the largest modern crocodiles. Males can reach 5 meters in length. Adults prey mainly on fish, less often on small mammals. For humans, they do not pose a danger. Gharials will not only not attack, but most likely they will not scare. They do not know how to move quickly. Most often, these animals slowly crawl along the ground. Striated king snake. Striated king snakes are famous for their striking resemblance to the extremely venomous coral snakes. Such disguise allows the animal to scare off predators. However, despite its striking resemblance to the coral snake, the striated king snake is completely harmless. The king snake belongs to the genus of non-venomous snakes from the family of already shaped. To date, there are about 14 species, the main habitat of which is North and Central America, as well as Mexico. This snake has one amazing feature: it does not have poison itself, and is not susceptible to the poisons of other snakes. Royal, the snake was so named, like the king cobra, because in the wild, other types of snakes, including poisonous ones, became a favorite delicacy for it. This feature is due to the lack of susceptibility of the body of the royal snake to the poisons of relatives. It is not uncommon for these snakes to even eat the most dangerous rattlesnakes. Sea devil or manta. Sea devils, reaching 7 meters in length, are the largest stingrays that live in tropical, subtropical, and temperate waters. The size of this harmless animal is truly amazing. The only predator that can attack the sea devil is large carnivorous sharks. Mantas have nothing as a defensive weapon. They do not have sharp spikes like stingrays, and do not produce electrical discharges like some rays. Since ancient times, people have feared these creatures because of their huge size and strength. However, sea devils are gentle, peaceful, and even sometimes playful creatures. Manta rays feed on plankton, larvae, and very small fish. They filter out this trifle in the likeness of whales swimming with their mouths wide open. They filter the water, leaving food in their mouths. Man became convinced of the safety of these animals quite recently, and back in the 60s of the 20th century. Sea devils appeared before people in the form of bloodthirsty creatures. Feature films were even made where manta rays appeared as killers. Frilled shark. The frilled shark, which lives at a depth of 1570 meters in the ocean, is another marine creature that does not pose a danger to humans, and which you will most likely never meet, and even if you see it, it will not consider you its dinner. The only harm from this shark was caused when scientists cut their own fingers while studying the teeth of this shark. The frilled shark lives in numerous, small marine areas widely scattered in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The most remote area where sharks of this species were caught is the northern coast of Norway, and the most southern is the coastal zone of New Zealand. The giant shark, which is also gigantic, is somewhat inferior in size to the whale shark and takes an honorable second place, reaching 10 meters in length and weighing about 4 tons. While the basking shark looks even scarier than its larger relative, this gentle giant also poses no threat to humans. Its huge, wide-open mouth filters the water to catch plankton, invertebrates, and small fish. Giant sharks love to swim close to the surface, putting out their dorsal and tail fins from the water, basking in the sun, but from the side of the shark fins above the water, people are terrified and panicked. It was and is extremely difficult to believe that such a huge creature does not pose a danger to humans, even despite the fact that the teeth of this shark are tiny and almost invisible. And there are few daredevils who are able to examine shark teeth at the first meeting face to face, especially knowing, in case of a mistake, this meeting can remain the last impression in life. Thank you friends for watching to the end. It's time to support the video with varnishes. Just write in the comments which of the animals in this episode surprised or scared you more than the rest, and which one would you stroke like a cute kitten. Well, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. If it was interesting, support the video with likes. Thank you for subscribing, and take a look at what else we have prepared for you.